Good evening. Welcome. My name is Kwabena. Welcome. I want to share tonight with you some brief presentation or topic that I have identified, which is subcultural practices that can keep you poor or that can make you struggle in your business for a very long time. These cultural practices can make you struggle in your business all the time. We are all humans are product of the environment, and we are product of our environment, of our culture, of our family, of the things that we grew up in, and every culture and how they have staged the activities towards productivity and getting results, whether it's something that was done intentionally or something that was done, you know, just by chance. Either of them are making these, cultures become productive and become progressive, and they get to develop or they stagnate them. And as somebody who is involved in, your dream, trying to build a business, you should be able to know that these are some of the tendencies that can make me struggle, that can destroy the business, that can make me even poor, and how I have to go around them. So I'm talking about some of the cultural things that we all are going to deal with almost every day. Every day there will be some cultural thing that you have to deal with. And in the country that we come from, if you look around, you see that some of them are very much detrimental to your business. Some of them are very much detrimental to your business. Entrepreneurship itself is very tough, difficult, especially if you are trying to do it rightly. It's that tough. And so if the culture, the environment, it has a lot to do with your output. We all think just around you see, a lot of the mindset that we have developed, they come from the culture. They come from the environment that we grew up in. If you grew up in Ghana, you were born in Ghana, there's a way that you look at life. There's a way that you understand issues. If you, the same person, if you're brought up in, say, Korea, the way you act, the way you think, the way you behave will be entirely different. If the same person, if you were brought up in, let's say, even Kenya or Australia, the way you look at time, the way you treat people, the way you handle money will be entirely different, So human beings are largely just a product of their culture, their environment, they form a lot of things. And so if you're an entrepreneur and you're not able to identify this and how maybe some of them may be helping and some of them may also be destroying your dream. And if you go to any country, if you go to any culture that is not bringing a lot of innovation, a lot of technology, they are not the ones in front of creativity and productivity, production. If they are not creating a lot of prosperity, you have nowhere to go but to look at the kind of environment, because the kind of culture, the culture is an incubator. The culture is an incubator. It is bringing whether successful or unsuccessful people. And so, the way, if you're Ghanaian, you know that there are some things that you have to challenge for your business to do well. So my name is Kwabena. I am talking about some of the cultural things that can easily destroy your business, and some of them that can easily make you poor. Whether you are in business or not, there are people who are just struggling financially all the time because it's a culture and they may not even be aware. So the other day, we were talking with somebody because we had a project that we were working on, and the person had done this thing before. I engaged this guy for maybe a couple of days. He knew there was a danger somewhere, but he didn't tell us. Maybe his experiences with engaging people, maybe people get easily offended. when they are told, or people easily think that if you give people honest report, honest opinion on what will not help them, they would easily think that maybe you don't want them to succeed, or maybe you are, maybe it's not something that you wish them well, or maybe you're not happy that they are getting so-called opportunity, and so the guy saw that what the project that we were looking at was maybe not that much good. At the same time, he kept quiet, and we got ourselves involved in it, and it was not good. So maybe his experiences did not help him to tell us that. So the cultural experiences, we tend to have that tendency to please people easily, even sometimes at our own detriment. We tend to be so much over involved with what will make somebody happy, which means that the Ghanaian is not easily, is not so. They don't tell you what they think. They don't easily say no or yes if it's a delicate issue. So you have to know that, because you yourself, you have that tendency. And then the people that you're going to do the business with, even your workers, they have that tendency. We have the tendency to make everybody happy, even if they will not make us happy. We are so, they call it Ghanaian hospitality, and they are not helping us. They are not helping us. So you have to read between that. If you're leading a Ghanaian team, if you're building a business, if you employ this, these are their tendencies. They may have something on their mind, they will not tell you until it has destroyed the business. Sometimes they are even planning against you, and they will still be smiling and be very much polite, because the culture has made a lot of us very much polite. Very much, we don't say much of what we think, especially if the relationship is possibly, if the person has the maybe not the upper hand, but is in a position to, stop something from coming to them, they will not say anything. They will be quiet, even if it's destroying you. And so it's a cultural tendency, because we are product of a culture anyway. So you have to know that, because some of them can easily be detrimental to you and your business. And so you have to read and see how people, because they will not tell you. They may be sending opposite signal. They'll be clapping for you, but they will switch in a minute. In front of you, they will not say anything. But when they go to meet another person, you'll be shocked what they will say about you, if you're lucky to hear what they have to say at all. So you have to read the line and know, because these things can have huge ramifications on your business. And so the tendency to please people, and sometimes I dare say, no, just try to be a bit hypocritical, and not being able to say what is on our mind that much, and we are not able to link our feeling to what we are saying. You have to maybe grow as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, to be able to link this, because what they are feeling may be different from what is really coming out of their mouth. And that's the culture that, I don't know about other cultures, but that's the culture that I think I see. Some people may disagree, but if you don't see that, it can destroy your business. It can destroy yourself even, because sometimes you need somebody to do something. That is not happening. They may not be able to do it as you want them to do it, but the tendency of them trying to please you may just block you. Yes, and I see that as a lot of us in Ghana have that kind of tendency. We're very much polite, respectful. If you are driving and you ask any Ghanaian in Accra to show you something, the way they will stop and try to show you, and they will even want to convince you that what they're saying is right. We're just we're very polite, nice people to a certain extent. And for that, I think that if you bring that practice in business, somebody is hurting you, they are not paying you, but you still go there and you're very polite and respectful, but the person is not paying you. And if you're volatile and if you talk, they will get angry. It's a problem. And if you say anything later, they say that this guy is so opinionated, they will not even give you any project again. And so you have to know how to go around this, because it can easily destroy your business. It can easily destroy you, and it can also make you poor, because then you are not able to stand for what you deserve. The other thing that I think is that we are a bit moderate with our vision. We are very much moderate with our ambition. Very much conservative. I think that we pick a lot of it from maybe the British or something like that. We're very much moderate. We don't stretch so much. We don't want to lose so much. We don't want to dare to take risk that much, and that can destroy your business. That can destroy your business because then you are conserved. You do little, you're very happy. You do one, two, three, you're very happy. So you buy a car, you think that you're very much successful. Build one house, the business is doing 10,000, and you think that you're very much, doing okay because of maybe the debt that you were coming from. You have to stretch because for you to become successful, it takes a lot of ambition, it takes a lot of patience. And so if you have to know this culture will probably, if you dare, if yeah, let's face it, if you meet somebody who's a bit daring, we try not to be so much comfortable with them because we think that they have something that they're hiding somewhere. But what you don't know is that this same culture, the environment that you grew up in, the environment that you were born in, this Ghanaian, this what they call Ghanaian culture, has made you that much less ambitious. Sometimes we wake up around 45, 50. We don't have time because when we were young, we were very much, just little and not stretching our mind with our vision. So don't let that catch up with you. And you're going to meet a lot of hurdles and challenges when you try to stretch beyond what the culture expects you to have. So they are not expecting you to open businesses beyond the borders, not even beyond the city. There are so many businesses which are in Accra, which could easily have branches all over. And they have been in business for 20 years, 30 years, and they're still in their neighborhood. Why? Because we don't stretch that much. We're less ambitious. Very much. We are trying not to lose than to win. That's the Kenyan culture, I think. We try to conserve our little wins. But life, those who win and win big are not trying not to lose so much than trying to win more. They dare to win more. Yes, there will be a lot of losses, but they can also hit big. If you just try to conserve the little that you have, it becomes that much difficult for you to become successful. And so if there is any major, if anything major happens, then the little that you're trying to conserve will just, it will just get lost and then you lose a lot. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about some of the cultural practices in our country that can easily destroy your business and possibly keep a lot of people poor or struggle financially for a very long time. And the thing I'm talking about is your tendency to please people, not to say what is on your mind. We try to be very much careful. We are oversensitive to people's feeling, and we are also oversensitive. When you try to correct a Ghanaian in the workplace, even if they don't have anything to eat, they will quit the job and go home and cry. Because we have that, I don't know where it comes from, but a lot of us have that tendency to be pampered, to be agreed with. We want people to agree with what we are saying. We want everybody to think that we are right. We don't want to be the odd one out. We don't want to be controversial. We don't want to say the thing that is wrong. We have a groupthink kind of syndrome. And for me, I think that you cannot carry that into your business and expect that you will succeed. So, and even generally, if you think like that, you're poor. If you see anybody who is making some kind of stride financially, they have their mind. They can think independently, and they are not afraid to be different. You have to have that, because then those become some kind of advantage for you when people can just look at you and say, this is what you're different at, and this is what. So when people are looking for you, they're looking for your difference. They don't look for that which they see in common. When somebody is looking for you, they're looking at, okay, this guy can do it because of this. He's shown that it's different. But if you've been brought up to think like everybody and agree with everything that everybody says, that is danger for you. You cannot stretch that much. And I said that ambition, the culture can make you very much moderate and less ambitious, and very much happy with little. Very much happy with little. That's why you can see people, when people go to school, they get some school somewhere, and you see the way the media people make noise about it. It's because somebody got somewhere to go to school. Going to school technically it's not much. It's not an achievement to get anywhere to go to any school. What is important is that what you do after the school is what is important. But sometimes, sometimes you may necessarily be conservative, but you are satisfied with your constant lines. Okay, I'm trying to understand God in what you're saying. So these things you should know, at least just being aware will help you and will help me. And the tendency sometimes, it is weird for me to understand this. These people are very much conservative, but at the same time they want to show off if they get money. They want to build big houses and buy nice cars. And for us, if you have a nice car, you have money. If you have a nice house, you have money. So the way we understand money is from the spending point. It's not it's not in the growing position. We understand money as somebody who spends money. So if I have money and I can blow it, if that means that how I'm rich. It doesn't really matter how I got the money. What is important is that I can show you my car, I can show you my house, I can show you my nice shoe, my nice clothes, I can show you where my children go to school, and therefore I am rich. It doesn't matter whether I don't have anything. I don't know. I don't even have a proper source of that money. It doesn't really matter. And for me, that is not good. It's cultural. It's cultural. Some people in some other culture can have a lot of money and still be very much calm and focus on what it takes to grow that money. We spend more and we want to blow our horns too. I don't know how. On the other hand, they don't want to tell you what they think. But once they switch to be in the position as on the upper hand, see, they will not tell you what they think when they think that you have an advantage for them. They will just come. Your capacity to carry more clients can destroy your business. No, that's why you build the capacity. You have to build the capacity because the business cannot stay. Business must grow at least to a certain point. And so, if you are not growing the business, and we go gradually, like of course, if you go boom and you have not developed that capacity, yes, there could be some tendency to distract you. But I will still go for that and trying to conserve one. I mean, if I have a business and that business is doing 1,000 a month, I will try to make sure that that business can do 10,000. I'm trying to conserve the 1,000 for 10 years, 1,000 a month for 10 years. If there's a major disaster, you're gone. And so, just make sure that you don't fall into that ditch where you have money and therefore you want people to see that you have money. And the way you do that is by spending. For instance, if a family member dies, your mother dies, your father dies, they say that if you have money, you do proper funeral for your mother, for your father. If you have money, you do very nice wedding, If you have money, you splash money on the child's naming ceremony. If you're a business person and you think like that, you will not be able to grow the money. You will not be able to grow the business because you spend to impress. There's no need to spend to impress if you're growing your business. If you're growing your business, don't try to impress anybody. So you have to have that discipline and probably you have to have that self-confidence to be different. The other one will be over-engagement in social activities. Over-engagement in social activities can also destroy or make your business struggle and also make you poor. Over-engagement in social activities. Every Saturday, there's a funeral somewhere that somebody will call you. There's your family or your friends, and sometimes you travel full day, do the funeral and come back the next day. The time involved, we don't even look at it. And then the money, the fuel, the car, and even sometimes the rate of accidents. We destroy a lot by all the social engagements. I'm not saying we should not go, but as much as we can, if you want to grow your business, you must have a plan for this. You cannot just be everywhere every time. Every funeral you are there. Your business is struggling with cash, and you are spending every weekend at some funeral somewhere. Whilst your clients, your customers need your attention, you're spending everywhere you are going. You're not just spending money. You're spending time there because the business is going to grow. Your finances are going to grow. but the amount of time that you're spending doing doing that which brings you the money. So it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of time, a lot of time, a lot of time to build that business, a lot of time to focus on that business, to stretch that business, to study, to do more, to find more clients. So if you're using the same time to go to to go for every funeral every weekend, you go to the government workers, that is even more terrible. They go for funeral every weekend. They travel to maybe whatever, one region to the other, and they say that no, you have to do it. Yes, the poor people spending their time anyhow will continue to be poor, and so you just have to choose whether you want to make everybody happy, or you want to build wealth and you want to build your business. The choice, it should be yours, and the choice is mine. Of course, people will disagree with you, people will insult you, people will say that you are weird, but if you want to satisfy people at the point where your business is still growing, I think that you will struggle. I think that you struggle. And if you want to build personal wealth and you want to spend money every weekend going to your village for funeral, that will be trouble. Weddings are everywhere as well. And when you go for the wedding, the next minute they also call you for naming ceremony. It's disastrous. So every social engagement, there's constantly, every day there's some occasion somewhere. And these are people who still wallow in poverty. And we have to create a lot of value. And you create value with time. It needs attention. So if you're spending a lot of time, doing this, then it means that you are going to struggle with the business. A lot of things in life can be explained. Poverty, for instance, can be explained. A lot of it can be explained. It shows what we are doing with our time, how well we are doing it, what we are engaged in, how well we are doing it. So if you pay attention to the business, we commit more into time, and we do more of the work, things will improve, things will change, no matter how difficult it is. If our finances are not good and we try to, if we find out something that we can do that can help improve the finances, and we give more attention to it, we spend time on it, we do more, things will improve. Things will improve. But the thing is that the culture will not allow you. This culture will not leave you if you are not tough. They will bundle you into poverty. And that's why a lot of people find the easiest way out. The easiest way out is not to build a business to become wealthy. The easiest way out is not to commit yourself and worry so much. It's to just do the other things. But money is not free. Nobody steals money. And never, you steal the money, you will get caught. And so look at the culture. Look at what is draining you, what is making you poor in the culture. If you don't do that, you will continue to struggle with your business. Okay, you will continue to struggle with your business. The earlier that you stand up, you get conscious that this is how I'm spending my time. This is how I'm spending the money. This is where the money is going. You should know where the money is going. You can't say that, oh, me, I don't know, the money comes in. No, where you are spending your time, anything that you build in this life is going to consume time, is going to take money from you. So where the money is going, where the time is going, is where the growth is going to come from. That's really where you're investing. You're investing yourself in something that you're spending your time on, in something that you're spending a lot of money on. So if somebody says that, oh, I'm spending my time on something, and I'm very much happy and interested in this thing, but you don't see them spend time on it, and you don't see them spend any money or any resource on it, they are not telling you the truth, they are lying. So cultural tendencies, cultural practices, some of these can easily make you poor. They can easily make you poor. The other thing will be thinking that if your business is struggling, not being so much of a superstitious, not being so much spiritual in quote on things that don't work. You have to break a lot of things down, get data. A lot of things can be understood if you study them well. A lot of things we can pattern them, we can see where it is going and what is happening and what is not happening. So if the culture, you just jump into conclusion, because of the family, the grandmother is this, the grandfather is this, that's why nothing is working. Use your head. We have to use our head. It's not a lot of things that happen on this earth. If it's bad, a lot of them are just accident, just an accident that happened. Just like that. You just were going over speed and you crash. That's it. You are using bad car on a bad road with drivers who don't pay attention to anything, the road signs, maybe even the road, how it was constructed. A lot of these things can be explained. So once something is not doing well with your life, with your business, don't just rush into conclusion. You say that no. That way you seize the way to use your brain. And those who are very much successful in anything that they do in this life, whether it's family, whether it's business, whether it's the country developing, a lot of them are using their brains. They're using the best tool that they have, which is their brain. They are thinking, they are massaging, they are looking at the data, they are looking at the figures, they are researching, they are improving on the previous ones. That's why they get better. If you look at it, societies that have locked their brains and blaming everything on that which they don't understand, being superstitious, they are the ones always late. They are the ones that the issues of life always overcome. They are the ones that they have bad hospital, healthcare processes. They have poverty. Their food is not right. The housing is not right because the brain is what is responsible for creativity, for improved technology. So your business is like that. If there are things that are happening that don't blame. The earlier you realize that no, maybe there's something that I don't know, there's something that I have to go and find out, the better is for you. Don't let the culture just push you into conclusion, because a lot of these people, anything that happens, is God, or so the brain does not work. And for most people, they think that when they say that, it means that they are giving God praise. I think that God is more happy when you use his teachings, his steps, his principles to bring improvement than just trying to say that is God will appreciate the principles, how things are done. And so my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about some of the tendencies that will destroy your business and make you poor or make you struggle financially. The culture that we were born into. The culture is responsible for a lot of things. The culture is responsible. How you think, how you behave, how you work, how honest you are, how credible you are, how deep thinking you are. They are coming from the culture. They're coming from the upbringing. They are coming from the things that brought us up. They are coming from the things that they told us when we were young. The confidence that you have in yourself, the self-belief, the narcissism that they told us, all those, they've shaped us. They have conditioned us to think in a particular way. Now, there's nothing wrong if it's working perfectly and we are growing and we are developing. And we are the ones coming out with the best drugs, the best tools, the best softwares, the best engines. If you're the ones coming out with the best companies around the globe, you are very much competitive. You're competing with all these countries around the world. Then we have an advantage. But if there is a problem, if you see that no, other people are doing far more better than we are doing, that it means that we must question a lot of the things that the culture has put in us. And the countries that are questioning what the culture, whether it's an advantage or disadvantage, those are the countries that are trying to do well. And those are the frontiers of science and technology. Those are the frontiers, in business. Those are the countries that are creating wealth. All the others that are trying to, put their head somewhere and explain everything with their superstitious mind. Those are the countries that are following. So your business, your finances, look at the cultural activities, because the way we are spending our time are going to be responsible for the successes of the business or the failure of the business. If you're not able to say what you feel, and if you're not able to deduce, if you're working with a Ghanaian, you should be able to deduce. This is the culture. It's not 100%, but there's a tendency that if this man is a Ghanaian, this is how they behave. So you're looking at what is it? What is it? They will not tell you. They will just leave the work the next minute. And it's not just one person, two person. When they get offended, you have no idea. They get offended, they will smile, but they are offended. And they are offended at the slightest disagreement, slightest query, slightest correction. We are oversensitive people. Very much oversensitive. And so there's a pressure for us to also make sure that everybody is happy around us. There's pressure from the culture to make us conform. Conform. Conform to what is popular. even if it doesn't work. That's why they would easily, when you offend an elderly person, they will easily push you to go and apologize, even if the elderly person is wrong. That's the culture. And so that thing is in all of us. You carry that in your business. You're wrong. Nobody can correct you. The business is gone. If the employee cannot say what is on their mind to you because you have conditioned them to respect you, never say anything, and never challenge you, and never ask a question, and that's danger. And in your presence, they'll be that much calm. But when they go home and they're in their room, they will say whatever they do about you. So the culture has made us not to say our mind. We are very much, we don't want to be controversial. We will be more conformist. We conform. Maybe it will change. Maybe the one I grew up in, maybe the new generation will change it. Maybe the new generation may be different. But you have to know that these people, they will not tell you what they think, and they are not able to link that much what they feel with what they say. So you have to read between. And it's in us as well. It's not only in your workers, it's not only in your team, it's also in you as well. So, these affect marriages, they affect business practices, they even affect our finances. Somebody will be asking you money, and that person will be calling you and crying on the phone, and that person is building a house. That is the culture. So you have to stretch beyond the cultural tendencies. Read. There are so many. Just sit down and look at the culture. There are so many things that you have to probably be aware, even if you can't change it. Let's be aware, because the more you practice those, the more the business is going to struggle. The more you practice those, the more they're going to affect your finances. So trying to please everybody and not trying to say what is on your mind, even if they go against you, is not good for business. And make sure that you stretch beyond what they go there. Don't be happy with one. Don't be happy with two. Be happy because you want to grow. Life is a constant. It's a constant growth process. Everybody's trying to. Nothing stays permanent. So commit to grow. Commit to grow. To stretch your mind. Be ambitious there, because that is how you become great. And so if you just happy with little, very happy with little, coming from your culture, you're very happy with very small. You go to build a house in your village, you think that you are the boss. Some people buy one car, you think that you're very successful, you have arrived. No. There's so much poverty that we all have to help to reduce. So you cannot be happy with that one house that you bought. You have to know and look around and see how many people you can help. You have employed 2 people, you have done very well. There's thousands that we can grow the business. So stretch your mind, be ambitious, continue to grow, because we need a lot of people to be ambitious. But the culture can box you to be less ambitious. Just be happy a little, and be very much happy with it. You look at African youth, they're very much happy with marriage. Especially the ladies, they want to marry and give birth. It's a good honors, it's an honors ambition, but there is something more important than that, which is, what can I do to affect my generation? What can I do to bring a smile to somebody's situation? What can I do more? What problems can I solve? I think those are more, because after all, the marriage, how about the marriage does not work out? How about if you don't get a child? Those things are natural, but your talent, nobody can take from you. So be ambitious there. Don't let the culture cripple. The next one will be, stretch your mind. Don't impress people with the money that you make. Grow the money. Don't, because they will say, oh, the other day, Master, why today you are not driving? You're in the trotro with us. People are that much, because they expect that if they think that you have money, then you must have a car, you must have a house. So people become under pressure to spend the money, the little money that they have. It's a cultural tendency. It's big pressure. You have to have big funeral. You have to build a big house. You have to. Okay. And lastly, I'll run over it, which is, don't be so much socially engaged. Say that you forget about your business and you forget about your finances. Have a plan for the funerals. Have a plan for the weddings. Have a plan for the naming ceremonies and all the engagements. Have a plan, because it's the little money that you have for the business. It's the little money that you have for the family. And beyond that, the most precious is the time. The very time that the business needs, that's the time that you're spending on the road, which means the business is going to suffer because you're not giving it attention. You're not paying attention. You're not serving your customers well. Your customers are calling you, can you deliver the product? I say, Madam Fubi Papa will make yawa. Once a while you can do that, but constantly like that, your business will struggle, because a business is just a baby that needs attention. So if you're not giving attention to your child, it means that your child is going to suffer, just like that. So if every funeral you are there, every party you are there, and you say you're building business, it's going to be difficult. And now they would also accuse you that you become weird. Your friends will be calling you, be asking you, are you coming to the get together every time, something. But what amazes me is that they usually don't come out with things that will make us better. They're always coming out with some things that will make us party and drink, but not to do more work, not to become more productive, not to become more successful. And it amazes me. It amazes me, because anybody that you see who is doing well at anything, it's obviously something that they are doing that is working. They know something that we don't know. That's why they are succeeding at what they are succeeding. And much of it is the attention, what they put in time, attention that they give to what they are doing. And so your business will need that. Don't assume that your business will succeed just because you have registered it. Because for most people, the business is the one they have registered. It's not the work. So once they register, you register a business with somebody, thinks that he's a partner. Because why? Because his name is on the document. It doesn't matter what effort that is bringing for the business to pick and grow. So thank you very much for watching. Pay attention to these cultural practices. If you don't, you will struggle financially. And a lot of people are poor just because they are not aware that these things are not productive. These things are counterproductive. So thank you.